Hey guys, it's Mike, and it is a winter blizzard out here today in southern Ontario. So I thought it'd be a good day to do a new room tour of my studio. I haven't done one since the summertime, and I changed things up, so I wanted to give you guys a little tour of what's happening inside the studio. Come on in. My music room is situated in an 1830s log cabin, and we moved this here and rebuilt it, and let's go in and take a look. So my setup has changed quite a bit from before, but some things are the same. I had a lot of sports memorabilia in here before, and I've taken that stuff out. It's just music stuff now, which makes more sense for what I do in here. This is some pictures I've hung up just with some musicians I've been lucky enough to meet. There's AC/DC, that's Angus Young, Sammy Hagar, Steve Van Zandt, Danny Auerbach, Randy Bachman, and Geddy Lee in this little area right here, and a couple of guitars. This is some Rush stuff here, including Neil's drumsticks. And as we move over here, I've got an old kind of leather couch here that I like to keep in here. This is a poster that was taken off the fence at Woodstock. That's why it's all water damaged and wrecked. Some CDs here, and this is a sitar, some music books, and there's a couple of things here, some ZZ Top signed stuff there, a Vox teardrop guitar. I got the chance to meet Les Paul one time, that's an autograph there. Records and books on this shelf. That's what's in that area. Above that is some signed drum heads and albums, all that I got in person. And back here is some more of that stuff. There's an Oasis set list. I was able to meet Tom Petty one time and get that stuff. There's some backstage passes for things I've gone to. And a t-shirt from John Lennon's art show I went to one time with his art. And that is what's in that corner. Okay, moving on to this section here. There's a photo I took of Steven Tyler one time. Sorry about all the glare here. He's signing an autograph for me. That is Velvet Revolver. Everybody except Scott Weiland, who did not sign that photo. This is some other just memorabilia. This is signed Van Halen drumhead back there. Johnny Cash on that. That's Jerry Garcia. In here is some more signed stuff. A Zeppelin Nebworth program from '79. A couple of other autographed items there. Down here is some Beatles stuff. I'm going to be doing kind of episodes on all this stuff anyway. I rotate the collection through. There's a signed Neil Young. There's some other things in there. I rotate the collection through, so it's always changing, and things are kind of coming out of storage and going back in. There's just some more memorabilia there. This is a symbol from Joey Kramer of Aerosmith and his drumsticks, and Joe Perry signed this CD. And next to that is a 1949 RCA Victor 45 player, and these are Ringo Starr's drumsticks. That's what's there. Some old wax cylinders and RCA stuff. And then behind here is a huge in-store display sign from RCA Victor, which I got in Nashville, and it dates back to about 1920. Up here some more. This is a Quality Records sort of pewter tray, and then an old radio station disc. Some more memorabilia in here, different items relating to rock and roll, some Van Halen stuff. Again, signed and an old photo from Oakland, I think that picture came from. This is some more memorabilia in here, and different things I've been able to collect over the years. And down here is the complete Rolling Stones vinyl catalog. Across the back wall here we have some vinyl, about 1,000 records there, I guess, give or take. And then this is the entire Beatles catalog. And above that, there's my setup, my turntable, which is an old Denon from the 70s. And above that is some guitars and a TV. But this is a Gibson Flying V, and this is an old Dean National, which is a cool guitar. And back here is kind of a crazy thing where I got to play Lucille at Massey Hall in Toronto, and a signed B.B. King, and the pin B.B. King gave me that day off of his tux. That was pretty cool. That's what's in that. This is an old Victrola, which is a pretty cool thing, and I do have an Epiphone Flying V, or a double neck right here, and some microphones back here. This is a recording studio as well, so that's some stuff I use to mic things. This corner has more guitars. These are ones that are just kind of in a rack here, but stuff that I use pretty often. But I won't go into detail on every guitar in here. This is I just did a video on this. This is an old Hofner Beatles 6-string electric, actually. And there's some concert posters back there. One from the Festival Express, which is a famous one that featured the likes of Janis Joplin and the band, and Grateful Dead, some people like that. Buddy Guy was on that. And then there's a Fillmore West poster back here. And then above that, this is an original Beatles Butcher record, and some other guitars here along this wall. Nice vintage Jaguar there, a Telecaster, Stratocaster, PRS single cut, one of the Beatle guitars, the Epiphone Casino, and a Gretsch hollow body, and then some other vintage posters here, including a signed piece from the Wrecking Crew, and we'll do an episode on them at some point on the channel. On this back wall, I'll kind of zoom out so you can see where this is, the location. I teach music out of here, so that's what that chair is all about. But on this back wall, we'll look at this shelf now. At the top, there is some RCA Victor stuff, including a nice old statue from the 30s of Nipper, and an original shipping crate right there. Some more books and stuff on the top, and then we have some signed pieces here, and just memorabilia in general across the top, including a ticket to Woodstock. Down on this shelf, some more memorabilia, different pieces from the collection. And again, I rotate a lot of stuff through, so what's here now might not have been here before, and might not be in the spring. It just depends what I decide to take out and show. And here is some more memorabilia on this shelf. Different pieces. And under that, more vinyl records here and here. Right at the side here is a nice 72 Gibson Les Paul and a 1951 Gibson amplifier, and under here is a whole bunch of 45s in these containers. That's what's happening back there. More records up the side of this wall, or shelf I should say, and some signed stuff up in the top. And over here, more guitars and memorabilia. There's a nice Roger Waters signed album there, Alice Cooper, Peter Frampton, and a Firebird and a Les Paul. It's an old Def Leppard hat from the early 80s. And this is a signed Scotty Moore and an original Elvis Sun record right there. Black Crowes press kit in here. And then some more pieces over here. Let's get to this side. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you're a big fan of rock and roll and you like records, guitars, and stories about rock and roll, be sure to give us a like and subscribe and ring that bell. It helps us to grow the channel and keep more stuff coming. Thanks a lot. Okay, over here there's some more items. These are all picks from Metallica in that frame. And actually in that, I don't know if I can get in close enough here, but that is a signed ticket from an early 80s tour, and that is signed by Cliff, so pretty rare. Some SGs, and a Rickenbacker, and a PRS guitar here. This is some Kiss signed stuff, and above that, just some more stuff. There's a Springsteen set list, and a Muddy Waters 78 up there, and an Elvis book from the 50s. And back down here is pile of amplifiers. I like using vintage amplifiers, so there's a ton of vintage Fender, Vox, Supro, and Marshall stuff here. The Marshall being the only kind of new amp, newish. It's from the 90s, and it's not a high-end Marshall, but it sounds really good. But this stuff is all vintage stuff that I like to play through down here. So that's what's happening right there. And this is the view from one corner, so it's mostly records, guitars, memorabilia. I've kept it all music now. As I said before, I had some sports stuff in there, and I seem to be kind of back just being strictly music now. And that is what's happening on that side. And this corner is similar, just guitars and records and memorabilia and stuff like that. And I teach music out of this room, but I also record things here as well. So it's a recording studio. But I like to listen to music and just have a spot for all of my stuff. So that's what's happening here. And at the back wall of this cabin, we've got this big cathedral ceiling with an old church window we found to put in the top. And that looks pretty cool to kind of frame out the room. There you go. So there is a brief tour of my music room, and I hope you like that. It's cool to see people's spaces, so I'd love to see if you guys have a channel and you have a link to your space. I'd love to see that, so put that in the comments. And thanks for tuning in. I'm heading back out into the wilderness here to shovel more snow in the blizzard. Thanks for tuning in.